Okay, when we're working with multiplication, if you take x times y, that's the same thing as y times x. And this is the commutative property of multiplication. So we've done that a little bit already. And then another property that we worked with is we said that a times b plus c equals a times b plus b times c. This is the distributive property of multiplication. So just as a review, we talked about this before, a little bit of review. If you have something like boy, just digging a deeper hole here on that review. If I had 2x plus 3x, well, I could use this rule up here to pull out a. Oops, wrote this wrong. It's AB plus AC. So I could pull out x. X is like a here. So I could go x times 2 plus 3 equals x times 5. And usually you put the constant first. 5x. So maybe I have 3x plus 2y. Well, maybe I want to isolate this x possibly. So let's pull 3 out. So I pull a 3 out. What happens over here? Well, one thing you could do is think what happens when you multiply this back through. We need a 2 here in the numerator. If I multiplied this through, this would be 3x, and I only want to have 2 left. So the way that would work is if this was 3 on the bottom. So 3 times 2/3 is just 2. So that's kind of a quick way to do it. But kind of what I'm talking about here is we've got 3x plus, and we can think of this as 3 over 3 times 2y. So I added this 3 over 3, which of course is just 1, multiplying. So I'm multiplying this equation by this relationship over here by 1. Doesn't change it any. So since I did it that way, I still have this 3 here and this 3 here. We can pull it out. So a couple different ways of looking at this. 3x plus 2/3 y. The distributive property. And that is pretty much all we're going to talk about in section 3.2. So let's move on to section 3.3. I won't make a separate page here since this was so short. Okay, I'm going to start out in this section talking about adding and subtracting polynomials. So let's just jump in and look at an example. Suppose I have 3x squared plus 3x plus 5. So that's one polynomial. And I want to add it to this polynomial. 2x squared minus 5x minus 10. So how do I combine this together? Well, what we need to recognize is some of these terms we would call like terms. They're like terms if they're to the same degree and same variable raised to the same exponent. So for example, 3x squared and 2x squared are like terms. 3x and 5x are like terms because this is x raised to the 1, this is x raised to the 1, this is x squared, this is x squared term. There's no x here, or there's x raised to the power of 0 here, so these are also like terms. So these are like terms, these are like terms, and the constants are also like terms. And the way we add or subtract polynomials is we add or subtract the like terms. So this is the same as, I'll use some parentheses here just to, it's not necessary, but just to make it look nicer. 3x squared plus 2x. And then let's do the second set of like terms, 3x minus 5x. Remember, you got to keep in mind the plus or minus sign here. Plus 5 plus 10, and actually it's minus 10. So I just performed this operation. So 3x squareds plus 2x squareds equals 3 plus 2 is 5. So we're adding like terms. There's 5x squares plus 3x minus 5x. Remember, you're going 5 to the left on the number line from 3. So 3x's minus 5x's is a minus 2x plus 5 minus 10 is minus 5. Okay, let's just do one last cleanup step here. And we'll say 5x squared. So plus a negative. So this is like positive 1 times a negative 2 equals minus 2x. And this is minus 5. Okay. Okay, so let's do subtraction now. 3x squared plus 2x minus the polynomial 5x squared plus 2x plus 3. Well, the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to distribute that minus sign. So let's rewrite this. So I'm going to distribute the minus sign all the way through here. Minus 5x squared minus 2x minus 3. Okay, now it's time to collect our like terms. So 3x squared minus 5x squared is negative 2x squared. And 2x, got this one and this one. 2x minus 2x is 0. And then we only have a 1 constant here. So we just slap that in right there. Minus 3. So our final idea is minus 2x squared minus 3. Okay, let's look at multiplying polynomials. Suppose I have 2x minus 5, and we've already done this a little bit. 3x minus 2. Well, I can use the distributive property of multiplication, and I can think of this as the a term, and this is the b plus c term. So this should be a times b plus b times c. So for the a term, a times b plus, I keep doing the same mistake, plus a times c. So this is 2x minus 5 for our a term, 2x minus 5 here. And then b is 3x, so this one's times 3x. And c over here is 2, and this one's times 2. So there's a plus here in the middle. So now I'll distribute this then back in and come up with our solution. So 3x times 2x is 6x squared. Minus 5 times 3x is minus 15x. And then plus 2 times 2x is 4x minus 10. We can simplify this a little bit. 6x squared minus 15 plus 4 is minus 11x minus 10. Now, we could do this another way that you might find easier to mess around with. What I can do is I could start here and I could distribute like this. So I could take the 2x and multiply it by 3x, 2x times 3x, and then the 2x, multiply it by, so minus 2 times 2x, and then I could take this term, minus 5 times 3x is minus 5 times 3x, and then I could take this minus 5, and here is plus minus 5 times minus 2. And I work this out, and I see that I made a mistake up above. I'll go up and fix that. 6x squared minus 19x plus 10, because whichever way I do this, these need to work out to be the same. And the mistake I made is here, that this is a 3x minus 2, so I need to have a minus sign here. And if I have a minus sign here, then that's going to be minus 4x plus 10. So this will be minus 19x plus 10. Sorry about that. And that's how we can multiply polynomials. Let me finish up this video here.